Raven number 3 makes absolutely zero sense. The art by Pop Man is actually pretty good. He's a good artist, but he takes a lot of very obvious shortcuts, and it makes him appear lazier than he actually is. Raven's actually very well drawn in most of the book. Most of his portraits are really good. His characters are really good. He really suffers with backgrounds, and he really suffers with particle effects. And we see that he uses this kind of smoke effect that I know is just a brush in Photoshop that he lowered the opacity on. So, but stuff like that makes him appear really fucking lazy. And the fact of the matter is that he's really not. Marv Wolfman, on the other hand, I'm convinced is just insane. It's happened. He's done. He's fucking nuts. This book makes no goddamn sense. It doesn't even start from where the last book ended. It kind of does, but like all of a sudden she's back in a fight with the girl with the anime eyes, and it just fucking devolves into like just like insanity like right after that. So rocked out of time. Yeah, they go back in time, these freaks. Anyway, so like I said, Raven's actually drawn very well. But what we see clearly here, this is just a Photoshop effect. He just put a brush. They have these brushes online where it basically tries to show, like, make like a kind of like a randomized like pattern like this. And I think he repeats the pattern here, and there's another repetition right there. So it's literally the same thing. He just lowered the opacity on it, so it's more see-through. It just comes off the same thing here. It just comes off as lazy, and he doesn't need to do that because his figures are actually really well drawn. His backgrounds are absolute trash, though. And we'll see where he has a city scene, which is also absolute trash. But so she gets into a fight with the girl with the anime eyes. And then Baron Winter is there. And then just makes no goddamn sense. She crawls out of the fire, and then she runs to report, and she ends up in 1906 San Francisco. And the text throughout all this, it's very stream of conscious. It's very choppy. That's like the biggest thing. It's just choppy. I've used the word disjointed for this book before in the past, and it continues. It's still disjointed. It's still choppy. There's no... I understand that Marv Wolfman wants to get across that this is a young girl and that her thoughts are all over the place. She's kind of scatterbrained. She has so much going on that she can only process like little by little. But the execution of this has not been good. You just end up really fucking confused, and in the end, the great San Francisco earthquake occurs, and we have like what's supposed to be like a touching moment between her and a cop, and then with her and a little black child. I mean, they were around. It was just funny. But anyway, and then this is my favorite part though. So, Merlin's leopard, and she basically like empaths with Merlin, and she sees some shit basically, and so they're talking, and then all of a sudden, fucking Baron Winter throws her back into the fire. It's just fucking hilarious. Like, there was no... I read it, and there was, like, the least expected thing to happen was for him to fucking just toss her back into the fireplace, which is, of course, a portal. And then she ends up at Terry's grandmother's funeral, and it's just like, who gives a shit about this? It was like... But it was really obvious that he's like, oh, I have to tie this into, like, the other, like, 90 billion storylines that I've set up in the first 2 issues. So he just did that. And it's just ridiculous. And then you have this other contrived notion. It's just like, he never lets anything breathe. And then when he does let stuff breathe, it's either told boringly or disjointedly. Like, I feel like the pacing was supposed to be in this issue where the scene in San Francisco where she's talking, like, right after the earthquake and she's helping everybody, that was supposed to be the declining action. That's where we were supposed to be like, all right, let's process what just happened. Let's see where their character growth is. But in the end, we didn't get any of that because then she launched into this tirade about Trigon. Like, it was fucking ridiculous. And then we go straight into, and Marv Wolfman has not spoken to anybody, I swear, in the past, like, 10 years, because, I don't know, this dialogue is just so trash. And then, like, you have this shadowy figure showing up, and it's getting closer and closer. It's like, the church is fucking empty. Does nobody fucking notice this one shadowy figure just fucking coming closer and closer to fucking everybody? Anyway, I don't know if I want to give this spoiler alert. Yeah, for spoiler alert, it's the mother. It's her mother. Anyway, it's Raven's mother. I don't know what else to say about this book. I want to like it because I do like the Teen Titans. I do like Raven a lot. I actually think she's an extremely interesting character. I like most of the art. Like I said, the backgrounds are so bad. This guy really needs to learn how to draw environments. But his portraits are really fucking good. And it's like I said, he just needs to work. If he works on that, everything would be perfect. Um, but I feel like Marv Wolfman doesn't know what he wants to tell. I feel like he both wants to tell a character study of Raven and this kind of like large epic, but you really can't. He's failing at doing. He's trying to do a little bit of everything, and he's failing at it because of that. He's spreading himself too thin. He should have. What I think it should have been was the first issues. It's a 12-issue miniseries. Issues 1 through 6 should have been a character study of Raven, and then around issue 4 starts spreading the seeds of her father and that storyline. And then issues 6 through 12 deal with kind of like the larger supernatural implications of it all. You didn't need, like, it feels rushed. It feels really rushed because he's trying to tell, whatever. Fuck. I cannot recommend this in good faith. I'm obviously going to continue fucking reading it because this is just fucking insanity. But anyway, like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me at Trajan Channel. Let me know what you think about Raven.